with us this Monday morning. Why is the market rallying when we're very close to a wider war in the Middle East?
I think, the theme for the market is continually ignorance is bliss. The market focuses on a handful of things and ignores everything else. And that's what's led to markets moving up higher in these tumultuous times. But what I see, Stuart, is I see a market that's focused in on the Fed. Last week on your show, we were talking about the war had just broke out between Israel and Hamas. Everybody was in a panic. And you and I had just talked about how every time this happens, they parade out the Federal Reserve officials, and those Federal Reserve officials generally talk dovish about raising interest rates. Last week was no exception. Even after I left the show, the Fed officials started talking about lowering interest rates, or at least not raising interest rates in the next meeting. So that's what the market's focused on. That's what's going to drive the market in the short term, but we'll see what supports it going forward.
I think the market could be driven by the price of oil in the immediate future if there is a wider war. That would upset what I'm not going to call this a rally, but this upside move. You're up 500 points in a week of war. Right. I think that is upset if the price of oil goes significantly higher. What say you?
You're absolutely right, Stuart. And last week, considering the vulnerability, you're talking about if Iran enters this conflict, they control, that part of the Mideast controls almost 50% of the oil. Yep. So if they enter the conflict and something happens with the supply of oil and you see oil prices move up, you're going to see markets react to that. Oil, I think, is I agree with you, it is the canary in the coal mine. It is one of the most important elements of the economy, and right now we're in a very vulnerable position. But last week, oil was up a little, but it was very well behaved considering what we have happening.
Right, it's $87 a barrel this morning. It's actually down a couple of cents. That's a very interesting situation. I would say oil up, stocks possibly down, but it hasn't happened yet.
Yes.
Jeff, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.